We all think we've got the whole water thing figured out. But what if I told you that the advice you've been following your whole life is just wrong? And what if the truth is actually way more fascinating and honestly a little bit dangerous? I mean, think about it. It's probably one of the very first health tips we ever hear, right? Drink more water. It's sold to us as this magical fix for everything. Better skin, more energy, you name it. And it's so baked into our thinking that we just never really question it. Okay, but here's where it gets interesting. We are so focused on the risks of not drinking enough water. But have we ever flipped that coin? Have we ever stopped to ask, can you actually drink too much? And the answer is a big, resounding yes. It's totally possible. And we're not just talking about feeling a little bloated. We're talking about a situation where you drink so much, so fast, that you literally overwhelm your body. And in some rare cases, it can actually be fatal. Okay, so before we dive deep into the whole too much water thing, let's just quickly set the stage. We need to understand why we need water to begin with, right? Let's talk about the baseline. What actually happens inside your body when you don't get enough? So when you're dehydrated, your body kind of goes into survival mode. It puts a massive strain on everything. Think about your kidneys. They have to work way, way harder to filter out all the gunk like sodium and urea from your blood. And when things get too concentrated, those minerals can literally clump together and form super painful kidney stones. Ouch. And that's not all. Your gut gets in on the action too. The colon starts pulling back as much water as it can, which, well, it's a fast track to constipation. All right, so we're all on the same page. Not drinking enough water is bad news. Got it. But now, let's get to the real twist in this story. Let's flip the script and look at the surprising and, frankly, serious danger of drinking too much. There's a fancy medical name for it, hyponatremia, but most people just call it water intoxication. And what it really boils down to is this. You drink so much water that you basically water down the sodium in your blood. Now, sodium is super important. It's an electrolyte that acts like a bouncer at a club, controlling the balance of fluid inside and outside your cells. And when there's not enough sodium, the whole system just falls apart. So how does this whole thing happen? It's like a domino effect. First, you drink a ton of water way too fast. Your poor kidneys, which are amazing, just can't keep up. They can't flush it out quickly enough. So your blood gets super diluted and those sodium levels just crash. And here's the really dangerous part. Your body tries to fix this imbalance. Water starts rushing out of your blood and into your cells, causing them to swell up like balloons. And when this happens to the cells in your brain, well, that's when things get life-threatening. The scary part is that the symptoms start out pretty innocently. You might get a headache, feel nauseous, a little confused. You'd probably just brush it off as feeling a bit under the weather. But things can escalate, and fast. We're talking muscle cramps, seizures, and in the absolute worst-case scenarios, a coma or even death. And listen, this is not just some textbook theory. This is real. Back in 2007, a really tragic story made headlines. A woman entered a radio contest and ended up drinking almost 2 gallons of water in just a couple of hours. She died from water intoxication. It's just a horrifying reminder that when it comes to water, more isn't always better. So what's the deal? Why does this happen? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Our bodies just have a speed limit. Think of your kidneys like a super efficient factory, but even the best factory has a maximum output. You can't just flood the system and expect it to keep up. And here it is, the magic number you need to remember. Your kidneys, when they're healthy, can handle about 1 liter of water an hour. That's it. That's the cap. If you start pushing way past that, you're officially heading into the danger zone. All right, so we know the two extremes, right? Too little is a problem and too much is downright dangerous. So the big question is, how do we find that Goldilocks sweet spot? The amount that's just right. First things first, let's just tear up that old rule book. You know the one I'm talking about? The 8 glasses of water a day rule. It sounds so official, doesn't it? But here's the thing. There is zero hard science behind it. It's a total myth. It's a one-size-fits-all solution, and newsflash, we're not all one size. So if that rule is out the window, what's the right answer? Well, the answer is you. Your body is already equipped with 2 amazing, super smart tools to tell you what it needs. The first one is obvious, your thirst. It's a primal signal, and it's there for a reason. The second one is a really simple visual check you can do literally every day. And yeah, we're talking about the color of your pee. Just think of this chart as your own personal hydration dashboard. What you're aiming for is a light, pale yellow, kind of the color of straw. If it's dark yellow, you definitely need to drink more. But, and this is the important part we often miss, if it's always completely clear, like totally colorless, that's your body's way of telling you, hey, you can chill out a bit, we're good. It's the simplest health check you can do. Okay, so for our final point, let's talk about something a little more advanced, timing. Because it turns out it's not just about how much you drink, but when you drink it. If you're strategic about it, you can actually use water to help you with specific health goals. Just check this out. Let's say your goal is weight loss. Well, studies show that drinking a couple glasses of water about 30 minutes before you eat can make you feel more full and even give your metabolism a little boost. Pretty cool, right? But now, let's say you deal with acid reflux. In that case, you want to do the opposite. Avoid chugging water with your meal. Instead, drink it 30 minutes before or wait an hour after. See? It's the same water, but the timing completely changes the outcome. So, what's the big takeaway here? For so long, we've just been blindly following this one simple rule. But the real secret to staying perfectly hydrated isn't about counting glasses or hitting some magic number. It's about tuning in and actually listening to the super smart signals your own body is giving you. So the real question is, are you drinking based on some old rule, or are you actually listening to your body?